in the last one I was supposed to drink or something though, right? Because I was feeling tired or whatever. I know when I watched other people's videos, like I first saw it in the Bob Wells cheap RV living videos, where he has an aspect of the video going in whatever amount of minutes, a couple of seconds of a conversation at the beginning of it, and that when I first started seeing him doing that, it was throwing me. I was like, did I miss some time here? And I'm like, oh, it's only 6 seconds in, and then I noticed he would then start the video, and I found that interesting. So I guess I just sometimes be on this vein where you're like looking at this. If you haven't seen the 4 videos before this, you're like, I saw the title, and I know the title, and I know what this guy's name's supposed to be, but what are we really doing here? Because what the hell is he talking about right now? Okay, so I'm gonna jump to that part, the intro part. I guess we'll call that until I can get the pretty intros to the music and all that. Can't wait for that someday. Yeah. I'm also supposed to be saying in my videos, please like, subscribe, hit the notification thing for all notifications, and if you guys can help me in any way, shape, or form, then please do, because I need the help. And you can contact me, since I don't have a thing, probably not in this video or not yet or whatever, of how you can donate to me. Just contact me, in the comments, or go to, just put my name in Google, and you'll see my Facebook, you'll see my Twitter, you'll see my Instagram. I haven't been on MySpace in the longest, haven't used it in the longest or whatever. I pretty much use the Instagram, the Twitter, and Facebook. I'm not always on them, but that's the ones I check the most frequently. If you try to contact me on my LinkedIn or on any of my MySpace ones, or whatever else I have, whatever, because CD Baby is a whole nother thing. Like, they changed up so much, you can't contact me at CD Baby, I don't think, where my music is. Anyway, so, or the people who distribute my music. Anyway, so, yeah, I need the help. Just contact me, and we'll make arrangements on whatever it might be, whether you need me to work and earn, or whether you want to donate money to me or whatever, so on. At any rate, so I was saying from the last one, I wanted to pick up, this is before deciding on a career choice, as part of, this is part of the Selves Management Series. And I was talking about in the last video how people, buy buses and trucks and whatever, and instead of them doing it because either they're forced to, or because they want to get into the motorhome lifestyle and leave behind living in houses and all that stuff like that, and then they want to, at some point maybe purchase property or whatever, because it's how it's all supposed to go. Instead of them doing that, people are, buying them, making them into Airbnbs and flipping them, buy them either, just like people do, back in the day, people would buy buses and not fix them up. Yeah, really, seriously, not fix them up. I think almost everybody, I think if I was to say everybody, aside from the party people, we want to sue him because he says everybody doesn't fix the buses up, and that's just not true, because our company, we buy these buses online and auctions and stuff, and from people, and then we work on them and make sure they're roadworthy, and then we sell them to people. I honestly do not think anyone completely works on anything they buy used and then sells it to someone. The idea is to earn as much money off of it as possible, which means you buy it, and as long as the other person won't notice it for whatever the law period is, or even if it might break down on within that period, you will have that money. That's what they do. They just put it right back out there and charge you another couple of thousand or whatever it is for it. Granted, some people, I think some people work on most of the major stuff, or work on the major things. But the more minor things, if you notice them when they're trying to sell it to you, and these days when you're buying things online from auctions blind, or when you're buying things in person blind, they won't take the picture of the angle that you will notice, hey, this thing is a problem. Then they won't mention it, they won't fix it. And so, those people, you're horrible. Seriously, you're horrible. You account for me being in the position that I am, period, and you account for most of why I'm in the position that I am, and a lot of the other people, because you sell people stuff that you should have bought and fixed up and made it proper and then sold it to them. And even if you didn't sell it to them with a warranty, you could say, here's the receipts, I worked on this. And this is when it got done. And I took it out for a test drive, I did this or did this, whatever it might be that you worked on, to show proof that you made the best effort you could, reasonably expected, to make sure that when you sold it to someone, it was like it was something that was new, even though we know it's used. But you should be able to say, hey, I like that guy. I bought this from him. I've been using this thing for years. Fantastic. I'm going back to him and I recommend him. That should always be the case. But we don't live in that world. We live in a world of yous who like to give those things you drive into wood that use a Phillips head. You like to give it to people like that. And that's just wrong. That's why the world is all messed up. Calming down. Anyway, so same thing with people, bodies, make it in an Airbnb and this and that. No, it's not for that. This isn't your industry. And I know that sounds bugged out a little bit, but no, that's like, human trafficking. You can make money off of human trafficking, but it's freaking wrong. You don't do that. But people do this stuff anyway. Crack, cocaine, heroin, all these things that people made, along with all the other stuff, and chemicals they just throw together to mess people up, to get money, and then they make it so that you have to keep going back and wanting to buy more. So they make more money. And they're putting it in the food and all of that stuff. Governments are doing this. And private corporations and all. I'm going down another tangent that I don't. Okay. Anyway, so let me get back to where I was at. So yeah, I was supposed to be starting this off by drinking something. You hit a plastic rattle, and I'm trying to take this out of the bag. I'll just let you know what this is real quick. So I'm real cautious about telling people what I eat, what I drink, things I do, where I go, all that stuff like that. And so I've vetted in my own way and had the organization vet what I'm about to say, what I'm about to do, so you can't find a way for it to come back and hurt me. I put juice in water, right, to make the juice spread out. But I use juices that it won't taste watered down in a manner where you're like, ugh, okay? So now, that way, the whole thing behind it is, water is most important. See, we come back right back to water. Isn't this funny? I should just call my channel water. I have an organization called Water that we run. Actually, 2 or 3 are called Water. They're different acronyms. And one is just water, I think. And so, from what I remember. But water, yeah. You need water in your body more important. Like drinking juice or drinking milk isn't drinking water because it contains other things. Water is supposed to flush everything out. And it's supposed to create a base thing. I talked to somebody about base stuff before. I'm not talking about freebasing. Get your minds out of the gutter. I know I was just talking about drugs, but I'm saying. The little kid's like, Dad, Mom, why are you in the kitchen and in the bathroom still? This guy. And they're not going to believe me when I tell them what they said. Imagine if you couldn't rewind. Imagine if it was like TV back in the day. See, you little kids, you don't know nothing about TV back in the day. You just watched it. If you missed something, you missed it. If you took a bite and you look back up, it was gone. You wasn't getting it back. There was no reruns. Until they started making reruns mad years later, decades later. And now you can just sit there and tap your finger and freaking rewind something somebody says. Look, Dad, Mom, see, he did say that. So, hold on. Where was that at? So, yeah, water. Flush. You got to flush through base model. That's what it is. Like, I talk to people about the whole thing about how they make white lab rats or why they make them, because they want to remove all of the melanin from the animal, because melanin is a vital component in your body, not only dealing with correct utilizing sunlight to make D3 to break down your calcium, but a whole bunch of other functions. So when we deal with racism, it's like, to be racist is being a, can I say moron? Can I say stupid? Can I say dumb? I can say malevolent. Can I say idiot? Can I just all those other words that's like that and worse? What? This is probably unimportant. Ooh, I can use the pause right now. Okay, I'm gonna use the pause because people don't text me. I'm gonna use the pause and see if this works. Pause worked. Wow. He says he's in the Illuminati and he doesn't use a pause. He doesn't know about pause. He ain't in the Illuminati. No, you just don't understand what the whole thing about Illuminati and technology, and I'm old. I was born in is anyway. So yeah, I was going for like 20 seconds and checked my text and came back right where I said I'm gonna pause it. This is cool. I like this. Anyway, so what's that? Me likey. Yeah, I like that. Anyway, I've been wanting to say that. Anyway, so water, flush through, base model, white lab rats, racism, no good. Because we won't get that deep into it, but here's what I'm saying. So white lab rats or other things were created so that nothing affects the outcome or results when you're doing experiments on it. You throw in some red dye, it turns red, it doesn't turn brown. Like, you have a color, another color there, it turns brown. So you throw in the red, it just stays red. You throw in blue, it stays blue, so on and so forth. And so that doesn't make white good, that makes white a base model. It's not to say that black is better than white or whatever. It's just to say black has this or does not have that for this particular reason. And so I was saying base model because when you are trying to flush and clean things, you don't put orange juice inside of some water and then, even though that might turn out to be an interesting way to wash your floors, and then wash your floors with it. Expect your floors to be clean and not smell like oranges and not having orange stuff in there that's going to mold and rot over time or whatever. You're supposed to be using pure water. So the same thing with your body. You're supposed to flush your body with water. And so it's good to drink, things like they have the, I don't want to promote somebody else's stuff, even though I always mention stuff like with Bob Wells or other things like this. But, there's other things that have water and juice with them. But so I'm just saying, it's good. Juice is good. Water it down so it tastes still good, but you're getting plenty of water in your body, so you get kind of like the best of both worlds. The hydration part is what's important, not so much the cleaning when you're trying to do it this way. So this is juice with water, just in case y'all wondering, because I know there's people out there who are looking at my teeth and they're like, oh, he's drinking wine right now. He's got wine in a bottle. He's a drunkard. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I like to usually say I don't do drugs, but if I say I don't smoke, people wonder, is he talking about cigarettes? And it's 13 minutes, that quick. Look at that. Cigarettes, or is he talking about marijuana, or what is it? I don't do anything, nothing. I eat food and I drink, water, and I drink juices. I don't drink wines. I don't drink beer, none of that stuff like that. I don't do any of those things. I used to be undercover. I did a lot of stuff when I was undercover, when I was deep cover. And I acted different when I was undercover, deep cover. For those of you who knew me back then, and you're like, oh, we know how you really are. No, you don't. This way I'm acting right now, this is me. And this isn't even completely me because I'm still undercover, but in a different way for different purposes. But this is closer to who I am. So it's part of why I'm doing the whole YouTube thing. I can't be 100% because I'm still undercover. And so I got to edit while I'm talking. So I'm not being completely myself. But yeah, this is closer to me. I don't drink, so I don't do I'm a health nut, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, juice water. I'm going to drink it. I'm not going to pause it or anything. Watch this. Yeah, I switch because, you don't want that stuff in your teeth. And I know my teeth aren't, okay, let's not go into how they're not white along with the factor messed up, but I ate and I didn't brush my teeth before I started making the video. I think that's kind of not. I mean, I understand people who do that, because I know people when we do acting work, that when we finish eating, when we go back out to the thing, they brush their teeth first, and I think that's incredible. But like, I'm trying to do the whole realistic thing. That's what you call it, right? Not reality TV, but more real. That's probably what it is. I was getting dehydrated. This part I do gotta pause for, because it creates phlegm. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, pause for the phlegm part, because that would be just like nasty. As I was saying, a couple of minutes here, I was talking about other stuff or whatever, but phlegm, nah, you don't want to show that. Okay, so where were we? So I was, we were talking about the, doing the Airbnb thing, and no, it's not cool. And the whole thing was, so now it's only 3 minutes, and that's going to end up spilling back into another, sorry about the burp, another video, kind of coming off of the same topic, but let me just continue on it until they get to the 1950 mark. Another 3 minutes. Okay, so, you got the people who say, oh yeah, I'm going to make an Airbnb. Then you got the people who do it because they're either retiring, they paid off their house, they raised their kids, the kids are gone, it's just them and their wife, or them by themselves. They held, getting emotional again, they held on to the house because their spouse passed away, and they feel like if they leave the house and leave that all behind, that they're somehow just breaking themselves away from their spouse. I admire and I respect people who say, you know what, I'm not gonna get married again, I'm not gonna get into another relationship, because that woman or that man that I was with was super special and can never be replaced. And so they even don't want to ever sell their house or leave that, don't want to sell their house or whatever, because they feel, the spirit of that person is there, and the whole structure of their day when a person was there, everything stays right in their life if they continue on that same path in that environment, even though the person is not there physically. But, so they say, okay, well, you're one of those people say, okay, I'm going to sell the house because I know he or she will be with me wherever I go, and will probably feel better about me selling the house and going out there and doing something like being in a motorhome. And you can incorporate the whole spiritual aspect of it into them being with you while you're on the road. I'm fighting back the tears right now, because I think that's it's a really beautiful thing for if you're one of those people and you hadn't thought about that. Say, hey, what did okay, I'm a man, so what did your wife want? When she was alive, did she want to, maybe you guys retire and hit the road or visit places? I was in a long relationship, and I'm not, and the person didn't pass away, but the death of a relationship is a death of a relationship in some regards. So it's just messing with me while I'm trying to talk right now. And I only got 30 seconds. Pull it together. Sev, pull it together. Okay, so so you're like, hey, well, my wife would have wanted me to do this. So you're like, hey, I'm gonna sell the house and I'm gonna go find a better property and she'll be with me. And you'll even talk to her while you're on the road. When you're walking through the store, and some store you've never been in before, but that maybe you think she would have really liked, and you're kind of just like talking to her to yourself on the low, and people maybe kind of sort of looking at you but thinking you have an earbud and you're having a conversation with somebody. So I'm going to pick up in the next video from right around there, and I got to blow my nose anyway, and you don't want to see that. So I'll see you in a few, in part 6, I think that's right, yeah.